So slimes are common enemies found all around Teyvat. They are basically elemental life forms, but are typically only a threat in large numbers. But yeah, we can say that they are also immune to their own element, and they are also able to inflict other slimes with it as well. But if I tell you guys that slimes, which are so common enemies, basically represent Archons. Strange, right? Well guys, there is a theory about slime's connection to the Archons. So yeah guys, in this video I will discuss this theory with you all. So I will tell you about each slimes and their elements and Archons. So first, if we talk about the ANEMO Archon and slimes. So ANEMO slimes are capable of propelling themselves with ANEMO winds, just like how Venti is able to levitate with his E skill. They are also considered one of the weaker enemies in the game, similar to how Venti is not really present as a ruler of Mondstadt. He is free and spends his days getting drunk instead. Number 2, Geo Archon and slimes. So Geo slimes have a tough shield, just like how Zhongli has the toughest shield among all the Geo characters, thus representing Zhongli's E skill and character of balance, fairness and stability. Next is ELECTRO Archon and slimes. So Electro slimes often appear as twins, just like Baal, Makoto and Beelzebul E are twins in the game. Both slimes have the same abilities, similar to Electro Archon's double personality. Well, we know much about these three Archons, but what about the future Archons and their slimes connection? So yeah, if we look at the Dendro Archon and slimes, so now the Dendro slimes have the ability to conceal themselves under the ground and in the grass unnoticed, and they hide so well that players can only find them by looking at the flower on their head. And trust me, if there were no flowers on their head, then it would have been much more difficult to find them. And this might represent how the Sumeru story will play out, with the Dendro Archon considering him as the slime and the Lesser Lord Kusanali considering him as the flower on the top, being two separate beings who either work together or are enemies. Well, this latter explanation makes more sense to me, as the Lesser Lord Kusanali might be trying to hide away the Dendro Archon, just like the flower does to the slime, forcing her false knowledge on the people of Sumeru in order to weaken the actual Dendro god, as she pushes the real Archon underground, hiding them away from plain sight, while she remains the deity that people see and worship. Also, it's worth noting that bigger Dendro slimes often hide underground, while spawning smaller slimes into the field. Next one, we have the Hydro Archons and slimes. So Hydro slimes have the ability to walk above the water, as they are immune to drowning, but they also have the powers to summon bubbles to trap enemies. This skill could refer to the Hydro Archon having the ability to trap the enemies in the prison perhaps, as she is the god of justice, and a kingdom of justice will surely have courtrooms, laws and prison. So yeah, it can be possible that she traps the prisoners in the bubble thingy. Yeah, it can be possible. Next one, we have the Pyro Archons and slimes. So Pyro Archons have the ability to shoot fireballs, and they can also explode upon their death. And yeah, for me, they are very irritating. I mean, I don't like Pyro slimes at all. So yeah, back to the topic. Their exploding ability might indicate or represent a grim fate that awaits a Pyro Archon, or a self-sacrifice to save her and for the greater good as the god of war. However, it is also important that Pyro slimes can be extinguished with water, so there might be hope in saving a Pyro Archon. Well, I guess so. I don't want any Archons to die. Okay, so the last one, we have the Cryo Archons and slimes. Alright, we have what is supposedly supposed to be the most powerful element in the game. If we are going in the chronological order, the Cryo slimes. Now these slimes have the ability to freeze the water beneath them, so they cannot drown, but they can also form the tough ice shields, similar to the Geo element. They also have the ability to manipulate ice shards to attack players, similar to the Pyro slime's fireballs. So my theory is that the Cryo Archon would have obtained all the nurses by the time we meet her, thus giving her the ability to manipulate other Archons' powers and skills. Well, I have discussed this in detail in my previous video about ranking all the Archons on their power levels from weakest to strongest. You can check that video out, link will be in the description, so yeah, go and check it out. And Cryo slimes also have smaller Cryo slimes acting as minions, which could easily represent our Cryo Archon with a fellow Fatui Harbingers and their subjects? Well, these are all pure speculations and theories. Nothing has been confirmed yet, so we shall wait until we receive more crumbs on future regions to confirm this. And yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts about this theory. So do write in the comment section about your opinions and theories. And also, if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. And if you need more details about the ARCHONS, then you will find the link in the description. So now, take care my dear hillbilly trolls.